Brothers and sisters in faith, Our Lady has let us know that she will warn her children a week in advance of this event. And today I bring a profound reflection on a message attributed to the Virgin Mary in Medjugorje, received by Friar David Lopez during a pilgrimage to that holy place. This message speaks directly about the days of darkness, something that has been mentioned throughout history by saints and souls favored with visions, but which in this case arouses even more attention because it did not come from the usual visionaries of Medjugorje. This leads scholars to relate it to a secret that remains hidden, while among the faithful different opinions arise, some doubting, others believing that it is not about 3 literal days, but about 3 years or 3 great events. According to Friar David himself, it all began when he was praying the Rosary, meditating on the 4th sorrowful mystery, and suddenly felt transported to another place, without seeing or hearing anything around him, only perceiving the presence of the Virgin Mary and hearing a sweet, firm voice full of wisdom that spoke to his heart, a message. This deeply troubled him, not only because of its content but also because of the fear of not being believed and of being ridiculed, as had happened to others in the past. He tried to resist and return to his prayers, but the voice persisted and disturbed him even more, leading him to seek out a priest friend, Father Va, to whom he told everything. It was then that he first heard about a book called The 3 Days of Darkness, whose existence he was unaware of. The message he heard, attributed to the Virgin Mary, said not to fear the 3 days of darkness that would fall upon the earth. For those who live according to its teachings and persevere in prayer would receive an inner warning a week beforehand. A call to sincere repentance, to more intense prayer, to the use of holy water and blessed religious objects in the home, to a living devotion to the Sacred Heart of Jesus with a candle always lit before it, to detachment from material possessions, and to a simple life, to distancing oneself from those who promote rebellion and disobedience because they are instruments of the Antichrist, and also a lament for the religious of the West, having abandoned the signs of its consecration and become fragile in the face of Satan's temptations, is called upon to return to holiness and obedience to Christ. It is emphasized that we should not be afraid, but protect ourselves in God's love through prayer, the Word, and the sacraments, trusting that she will be with us in this difficult time and that those who struggle against their sins will find a safe refuge, never losing hope, for God sees every step taken towards change. Even feeling insecure, Friar David was advised by his spiritual director to make the message public. On September 11th, while in San Antonio assisting with preparations for Pope John Paul II's visit, he felt a strong impulse to pray before the image of Our Lady of Guadalupe. There, he had a remarkable experience, perceiving the image as alive and hearing a reprimand for not yet having divulged the message. He was asked to write down everything he had been told in Medjugorje and take it to the bishop, which he did weeks later, presenting the text to Bishop John Joseph Fitzpatrick, who did not. He found doctrinal errors and encouraged him to divulge them, warning that he would face resistance, clarifying that he did not officially approve, but that the revelations did not bring anything new to the faith. Friar David also stated that he had received other information, such as the announcement of a great sign before the tribulation. A red cross like the blood of Christ appearing in the sky and visible to all, because the voice of God is engraved in the heart of every human being, and all will understand its meaning. He also revealed that during the 3 days of darkness, demons would be released and the darkness would be so dense that nothing could be seen, endangering those who are not in a state of grace. Therefore, the Virgin Mary calls her children to begin now the conversion, repentance, the pursuit of holiness, and the practice of charity. He concluded with a special request to priests to prepare the faithful, strengthen their faith, and promote conversion, because by the design of the Almighty, yet another message was entrusted to Medjugorje, an urgent call to vigilance and a change of life, because difficult times have already arrived and others are yet to come. Harder trials will come to test faith. Satan is furious because he knows his time is short and tries to confuse, divide, and spread fear, prowling around homes, families, and thoughts out of hatred for the love that comes from Jesus. But the mother appears to protect her children with her sacred mantle, inviting them not to fear, but to prepare themselves, observing wars, diseases, and disasters as signs of a world far from the heart of God and as an urgent call to return to prayer, fasting, confession, and the Holy Rosary. My beloved children, listen attentively to the words that spring from a mother's heart that watches over you ceaselessly. I do not speak to you to cause fear, but to awaken your souls. Difficult times are approaching, times when many hearts will waver, and the faith of many will be put to the test. Those who live distracted, clinging only to the things of the world, will feel the weight of chaos, for they have not prepared their spirits nor strengthened their hearts in truth. My children, I have revealed to you that these are not ordinary days. The world is in turmoil, evil rises with force, and confusion tries to extinguish the light that God has placed within each of you. But do not forget, nothing happens without the Father's permission, and in everything there is a call to conversion, to vigilance, and to trust. Prepare yourselves, not with fear, but with living faith. Prepare yourselves by seeking God in the silence of your hearts, turning away from sin, choosing good even when it seems difficult. He who does not watch, who does not care for his own soul, weakens in the face of trials. But he who trusts in the Lord remains standing, even when everything around seems to crumble. Keep this in your hearts. God saves his children. He does not abandon those who seek him sincerely. Even in the midst of chaos, his hand remains outstretched. His gaze does not turn away from you. Salvation is not in riches, nor in human strength, but in faithfulness, humility, and persevering faith. My children, be strong. Do not allow despair to take hold in your souls. When times are dark, be light. When many lose hope, be witnesses of trust in God. I walk with you, I intercede for you, and I always lead you closer to the heart of the Father. My beloved children, so dear to my immaculate heart, remain with me and listen. For I speak as a mother who loves, who warns, and who protects. I do not call you to fear, but to awareness. I do not speak to you to hurt you, but to awaken you. The times ahead will demand steadfast hearts, vigilant souls, and a faith that does not depend on the circumstances of the world. Many walk like spiritual blind people, trusting only in what they see, and forget that true life is born from above, born from God. My children, I have revealed to you that difficult days are coming because the world has turned away from the truth. Humanity has chosen pride instead of humility, sin instead of conversion, indifference instead of love. Therefore, the human heart has become fragile, confused, and empty. When chaos arises, those who have not built their lives on God feel lost, without direction, without hope. Do not be deceived. It is not God who abandons his children. It is many children who abandon God. The Father continues to call, to forgive, to extend his mercy. However, few listen, few bow down, few recognize that they need him. And that is why I insist so much with you. Prepare your souls. The preparation I ask of you is not material, but spiritual. It is in the heart that the battle is fought, my children. He who is not spiritually prepared will weaken in the face of trials. Fear will take hold, rebellion will grow, faith will fade. But he who remains in God, even weeping, even suffering, will not perish. For God saves his own. God sustains his own. God never abandons those who trust in him with all their heart. Turn to God while there is still time. Purify your intentions. Change your ways. Renounce what separates you from grace. Do not postpone conversion. Do not play with sin. Do not treat faith as something secondary. What is to come will require deep roots, and only he who lives united to the Lord creates deep roots. My children, be vigilant. Evil does not sleep. Lies disguise themselves as truth, and many will be deceived by false promises. Do not be led astray by empty speeches, nor by easy solutions. Truth remains in Christ, and outside of him everything falls apart. Guard your minds, protect your hearts, strengthen your families in the presence of God. When you feel that everything becomes too heavy, remember, God is Father. He sees every tear, hears every silent cry, and knows every hidden battle. Even when it seems that heaven has fallen silent, he continues to act. Salvation will not come from the world, but from the Lord. Peace will not be born from chaos, but from persevering faith. I ask you, my children, be firm, be faithful, be courageous. Do not allow despair to steal the hope that God has planted in you. When many lose faith, remain. When many turn away, draw even closer to God. When everything seems dark, remember that light has never been overcome by darkness. I cover you with my mantle of maternal love. I intercede for each of you, and I lead you, step by step, to the merciful heart of the Father. Trust, persevere, keep your faith alive. For those who trust in God will never be confounded, and those who remain in Him will find salvation, even amidst the greatest storms. My beloved children, come to me with confidence and simplicity of heart. Draw near as children seeking the embrace of a mother who never abandons. I see you weary, afflicted, confused by all that is happening in the world. Chaos spreads, disasters multiply, wars wound entire nations, and many hearts no longer find peace. In the face of all this, I tell you, do not lose faith. My children, the world is going through times of great pain because it has turned away from the love of God. When man rejects the light, darkness finds space to act. When humanity ceases to listen to the Father's voice, violence, division, and suffering arise. But even amidst this scenario of fear and destruction, God continues to be a safe refuge for those who trust in Him. Come to me, my children, because a mother does not close her heart when her children suffer. I bring you to my immaculate heart to lead you to God, the only source of true peace. Do not let yourselves be overcome by despair or the panic that the world spreads. Fear weakens the soul, but faith strengthens and sustains, even when everything seems to crumble. Have faith, my children. Faith is not the absence of suffering, but trust even amidst tears. Faith is remaining steadfast when everything invites you to give up. Faith is believing that God acts even when we do not understand His ways. Those who trust in the Lord will not be abandoned, even when they go through great trials. I ask you, pray. Prayer opens the gates of heaven and closes the gates to evil. Pray that God's protection may reach your homes, your families, your hearts. May each home be a refuge of faith, where the presence of God is invoked with love and humility. A home that prays becomes strong, even amidst the storms of the world. My children, consecrate your homes to God. Place Him at the center of your lives. Where God dwells, evil does not prevail. Where there is faith, hope is reborn. Where there is prayer, peace finds space to remain. Even if the world around you is at war, may your hearts remain steadfast in love. Do not turn away from God in these difficult times. On the contrary, draw even closer. Seek conversion, forgiveness, reconciliation. Be instruments of peace in a wounded world, signs of light amidst the darkness. Every small gesture of faith has immense value in the eyes of heaven. I walk with you, my children. I intercede for you. I present your sorrows to God, and I cover you with my maternal mantle. Trust, persevere, keep your faith alive. For even in the midst of chaos, God continues to be love, protection, and salvation for all those who hope in Him. My beloved children of my immaculate heart, come to me without fear, with open hearts and humble souls. I call you because I love you, because I know every pain you carry, every silent worry, every tear shed in secret. The world is in great turmoil, and you see with your own eyes the chaos that is spreading. Disasters that wound creation, wars that destroy lives, families torn apart by hatred, division, and lack of love. In the face of all this, many hearts weaken and hope seems to fade. But I tell you, my children, do not let yourselves be overcome by fear. Fear paralyzes, confuses, and distances the soul from God. Faith, on the contrary, strengthens, illuminates, and sustains even when the path seems dark. That is why I insist so much with you. Have faith. Not a superficial, fragile faith, supported only by worldly things, but a deep faith, rooted in God, capable of remaining firm even when everything around crumbles. My children, the world is living through a time of great trial because many have strayed from the truth. The heart of man has hardened, and the voice of God is no longer heard as before. Humanity is now reaping the consequences of choices made without love, without humility, and without God. However, even in this scenario of pain, the Father does not abandon his children. He continues to call, to wait, to offer mercy and protection to those who seek him sincerely. Come to me, my children, for a mother never tires of welcoming. I lead you on the path of faith, trust, and hope. When the world cries out in despair, I teach you the silence that listens to God. When the world spreads hatred, I teach you the love that heals. When the world threatens to destroy, I remind you that God is a safe refuge for those who trust in him. I ask you, pray. Prayer is the strength of the small, the weapon of the humble, the shelter of afflicted souls. Pray that God's protection may reach your homes, your families, your children, and your elderly. A home that prays becomes a space of light, where the presence of God dwells and where evil finds resistance. Do not allow your homes to become empty of faith, for where God is not welcomed, peace weakens. My children, take care of your families. Strengthen them in faith, dialogue, forgiveness, and love. Homes are today one of the greatest targets of division and confusion. Protect them with acts of faith, with words that edify, and with choices that draw them closer to God. Even amidst the world's wars, may your homes be places of peace. Do not become accustomed to evil. Do not accept violence as normal. Do not harden your hearts in the face of others' suffering. Every pain the world experiences should be a call to conversion, compassion, and trust in God. Chaos should not distance you from faith, but lead you to an even firmer and truer faith. My children, remain vigilant. Trials increase, temptations multiply, and many lose their way for lack of prayer and discernment. Do not walk alone. Seek God every day. Place your lives in his hands, and trust in his providence. Even when you do not understand events, know that God remains in control of history. I walk with you, I intercede for you, and I cover you with my maternal mantle. Do not abandon yourselves to despair. Hope still lives. Faith still sustains. God's love still protects. Remain steadfast, my children, for those who trust in the Lord, even amidst chaos, will never be defeated. In the face of the times the world is going through, I revealed to you in Medjugorje that you would not be without warning. Heaven is not silent. God does not abandon his children. And for love of you, you are continually called to awaken, to watch, and to strengthen your faith. The warnings are signs of mercy, not of condemnation. They are a call so that your souls do not get lost in the confusion of these times. My children, many will be warned. Many will feel in their hearts the call to conversion. Many will realize that something needs to change in their lives. However, I also tell you with sadness, many will fall. They will fall not because God has rejected them, but because they chose not to believe, not to trust, not to accept the touch of grace that was offered to them. Lack of faith closes the heart, hardens the soul, and prevents the light of God from penetrating. I ask you, my children, have faith. Faith is the foundation that sustains the soul when everything seems uncertain. Without faith, man is easily lost, led astray by fear, doubt, and lies. Many say they believe, but in the moment of trial they waver, because their faith has not been cultivated, not lived, not put into practice in daily life. In Medjugorje, I called you to sincere conversion, to persevering prayer, to humility of heart. These are not empty messages, nor words to be forgotten. They are paths to salvation. Those who welcome these calls with simplicity remain standing. Those who despise, mock, or doubt, weaken and distance themselves from grace. My children, God's touch is gentle, respectful, and silent. He does not force, does not impose, does not violate human freedom. That is why many do not recognize him. They expect grandiose signs, spectacular manifestations, and ignore the small touches of grace in the heart. When God touches, he invites, and only those who have faith and humility welcome this touch. Do not allow pride to blind you. Do not say, "This is not for me. This is not real. I don't need to change." These words close the doors of the heart and push people away the protection of heaven. God speaks to the simple, to the little ones, to those who recognize their need. Those who consider themselves self-sufficient do not listen, do not welcome, do not allow themselves to be guided. My children, these times demand vigilance. The world will become increasingly confusing, and many will lose their way because they are not firm in their faith. I warn you out of love so that you may not be caught off guard. Prepare your souls, strengthen your trust in God. Cultivate faith with concrete acts of love, forgiveness, and conversion. Do not reject the warnings that heaven gives you. They are an expression of divine mercy, which desires to save, not to lose. There is still time. There is still grace. There is still protection for those who believe, trust, and abandon themselves into God's hands. Remain with me, my children. Listen with your hearts, not just with your ears. Receive God's touch while He still calls you tenderly. For those who remain in faith will not be confounded, but will find refuge, light, and salvation in the Lord, even amidst the greatest trials. In the face of all that happens, I revealed to you in Medjugorje that you would not be abandoned or surprised. Heaven out of love warns. God out of mercy calls. Nothing is revealed to you to cause fear, but to prepare your souls and strengthen your faith. My children, you will be warned. The signs manifest themselves little by little. The events speak. Consciences are touched. Many will feel in the depths of their hearts that something needs to change, that they cannot continue living in the same way, separated from God. These warnings are precious graces, opportunities granted by the Father so that His children may return to the path of truth before the trials become heavier. But I tell you with a mother's sorrow, many will fall. They will fall not because God has ceased to love them, but because they have chosen to live without faith. They will fall for not believing, for despising the calls of heaven, for closing their hearts to the gentle touch of grace. Lack of faith makes man fragile, confused, and vulnerable. Without faith, the soul is easily lost amidst chaos, fear, and lies. My children, do not underestimate the power of faith. Faith is light when everything darkens. Faith is shelter when the world is in turmoil. Faith is strength when the heart feels weary. Many say they believe but do not trust. Many listen but do not heed. Many see the signs but prefer to ignore them so as not to change their lives. This is how many end up falling. Not for lack of warning, but for lack of surrender. In Medjugorje, I insistently called you to conversion of heart. Not to an apparent conversion, but a deep, sincere, and constant one. Conversion is changing the way of living, thinking, and loving. It is choosing God every day, even when this requires renunciation and sacrifice. Those who heed this call are strengthened. Those who reject it weaken little by little until they lose their way. My children, God's touch is delicate. He does not shout, impose, or force. He touches the heart gently, respecting the freedom He Himself granted to man. Many do not recognize this touch because they expect something grand, visible, immediate. However, God acts in silence, in conscience, in the inner restlessness that calls for change. Those who lack faith do not perceive this touch. Those who do not believe close the doors of their souls. I ask you, do not harden your hearts. Do not despise the warnings from heaven. Do not treat with indifference that which is grace. Pride is one of the greatest causes of spiritual downfall. When man believes he does not need God, he distances himself from divine protection and becomes fragile in the face of the trials to come. My children, these times demand vigilance, humility, and perseverance. The world will become more confusing, and many will lose their way because they are not firm in faith. Therefore, I call upon you insistently. Strengthen your spiritual life, purify your hearts, choose good while there is still time. Every ignored call weakens the soul. Every heeded call strengthens the spirit. Do not fear those who announce the warnings from heaven. Fear, rather, living without God. The warnings are an expression of the Father's love, who desires to save His children and not lose them. There is still time to return. There is still mercy. There is still protection for those who trust. Remain with me, my children. Listen with open hearts. Welcome God's touch while He still calls tenderly. For those who persevere in faith, who believe and surrender, will not fall. Even amidst trials, they will remain standing, sustained by grace, protected by God's love, and led to salvation. My children, in Medjugorje I told you that you would be warned because God does not act in surprise to wound, but in the light to save. Each warning is an act of love. Each call is an open door for return. The Father sees human frailty, knows how easily man allows himself to be deceived, and therefore sends signs, words, and inner touches to lead his creatures back to the path of life. But I also tell you, with pain in my heart, many will not believe. Many will hear, but will not listen. Many will see, but will close their eyes. They will fall not for lack of warning, but for lack of faith. Unbelief has spread like a shadow, and many no longer trust in God, nor in heaven, nor in their own conscience. When faith is lost, the soul becomes unprotected and vulnerable. My children, lack of faith is a deep wound. It prevents man from recognizing the touch of God, which is gentle, silent, and full of love. God does not invade, does not force, does not violate the heart. He touches delicately, awaiting a free response. However, many hearts are hardened by pride, by the haste of the world, by attachment to sin, and by the false sense of self-sufficiency. Thus, when God touches, he is not welcomed. I ask you, my children, do not be like those who demand constant proofs, grandiose signs, and spectacular manifestations. True faith is born of humility, inner listening, and trust. He who only believes in what he sees easily gets lost when darkness approaches. He who believes with his heart remains firm, even without understanding everything, changing his life, abandoning what separates him from God, rebuilding his spiritual life. These are based on solid foundations. Those who take these calls seriously are strengthened inwardly. Those who despise them walk towards spiritual weakness. My children, do not play with grace. Do not postpone change. Do not say, tomorrow I will change, later I will return. The heart that postpones conversion becomes accustomed to distance from God. And when trials intensify, that heart finds no refuge, no peace, no direction. I call you to a living faith, practiced, persevering. Faith that translates into choices, into renunciations, into love for one's neighbor, into fidelity to God even when it is difficult. The faith that saves is not just words. It is a life surrendered. It is daily trust. It is abandonment in the hands of the Father.